Welcome to AgriTalk, and thank you for staying with KTN Farmers TV. Today we are going to have a very exciting conversation about the coffee sector, and today I'm joined by Ronald Muruai, who is the Chief Executive of the Robusta Coffee Growers. Welcome to the show, Leonard.
Thank you so much.
Let's start by you just telling us a little bit about yourself, and why are you just concentrating on the Robusta variety of coffee?
Thank you. My name is Ronald Muruai. I come from Busia. That's the Robusta belt. We only deal with Robusta. I only deal with Robusta because it's one of the crops that has been sort of marginalized in Kenya. As you know, Kenya has two varieties, Arabica and Robusta. 90% of Kenya grows Arabica. Yeah, it's on the high altitude areas. But the 10% is grown on the lower altitude areas. That's lower Bungoma. You have two societies in Bungoma, the whole of Busia, Siaya, Kisumu, and Homa Bay. We concentrate on Robusta because there's an Italian born with a company called Cafe del Duca who was interested in Robusta. And he said, instead of him importing, because most of the people import Robusta from Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, he looked around and thought it wise for us to revive the Robusta in Western Kenya. So in that essence, we've given a Robusta farmer a lifeline because it was marginalized. Why am I saying marginalized? Because they've always been taken as inferior crop. They say that because they say it doesn't have the taste that coffee has. But in the essence, Robusta has 2.6% caffeine, which is actually higher than Arabica.
Arabica has how much?
1.3%. Okay. Two, Robusta is high because any instant coffee you take in any hotel in Kenya is soluble. Any soluble coffee is that Robusta.
Is instant coffee?
Yes, instant coffee. So find that all the Nescafe you take, Nesquik or whatever, all is imported.
So, and all is Robusta.
And all is Robusta. So we decided to concentrate on Arabica or Robusta because there's a lot of goodwill. We'll be supporting the crop, and also the production for Robusta is higher than Arabica. Arabica produces 20 kilos per tree. Robusta produces 60 kilos per tree.
So why are they calling it an inferior crop, yet everything is pointing at a different direction?
It's about the tar. The taste of Arabica is higher. And that's why you find that most people concentrate buying Arabica in Kenya because our taste for Arabica is higher. You find Brazil or any other country that produces Robusta, they only buy about maybe 2 bags of Arabica, and they mix it with their 1 ton or 2 tons of Robusta. So in that essence, people think Arabica is more superior than Robusta.
Now let's go back and talk about, you say the production, you've been working on improving the production. Maybe take us back a little bit, how it was in the early 80s to the late 90s. I think that is when we used to have high production. So what happened? It went down, and now that you're trying to revive it again.
Now, generally coffee in Kenya has actually gone down, be it Arabica or Robusta. But now, since they didn't have market for Robusta, the farmers felt they have been neglected. So they started uprooting their Robusta. But the few that remained with the crop have actually concentrated in selling in Uganda. Because that's because Uganda has about 90% of Robusta, grows 90% Robusta, and about 10% Arabica on the upper side, Mount Elgon. Yes. Two, the production levels for Arabica has also gone down. Let's say the high producing areas like Moranga and Kiambu have also been infiltrated by the real estates. So you find that now people are now concentrating on reviving or sustainability of the coffee in Rift Valley, Nyanza, and Western, where we still have chunks of land. Yes. And you know now sugar is also going down, so they're taking advantage of that.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the Chepkube story, how it started and where are we now?
I was young that time, so I know much, but I know my father was a good smuggler, if I may call it. Yeah, but that time, the demand for the Kenyan coffee was too high. And Uganda didn't know how to market the coffee, especially because of the regime and all that, regime change and all that. So Kenyans took advantage of the Ugandan coffee.
So they go sneak and bring...
And bring to Kenya, yeah. And because it was illegal, they had to use Chepkube as a smuggling point and any other point that is porous along the border. But now, as we're talking, most of our Western coffees, be it Robusta, be it Arabica, is going back to Uganda.
Okay, reason?
Reason is the new regime that is in Uganda, I think they still have, they know how coffee is and how Kenya has benefited from the coffee. So they have given it goodwill. All the seedlings that Ugandan farmers plant is given free for sustainability project. They bring out trainings, yeah, to farmers. Mm-hmm. So in that way, a farmer now understands what he's supposed to do. 3, the bureaucracy we have in Kenya is not much in Uganda. In Uganda, you can buy your coffee like maize, like us along the border. You buy it in Gorogoros. So that way, the farmer feels he's getting his cash immediately. Unlike Kenya, where we still have the cooperative system, we have to hand pick it, we have to wash it nicely to give it quality. Yeah, so they might produce more, but Kenya, at least our quality is still high. Okay. Yes.
So let's stick to that part of the quality. Just try and give us the comparisons between why is our quality good, and yet we are still producing low quantities, and theirs is low, and they are producing high.
Yes, theirs is low. The quality is low because 90% is Robusta, and so they don't have that taste, yeah, that Arabica has. Okay. 2, in Kenya we handpick our coffee. In fact, that's the big fight that we're having with farmers along the border, that we insist that just like Arabica, let's handpick our coffee, red, cherry ripe, yeah? And then we process it, be it sun-dried or washed, yeah? So when you handpick the coffee, you don't mix with the greens, so you don't affect the quality of the ripe berries. Also, our system of processing coffee is very unique, yeah? The washing, yeah, pulping, washing, grading, sun drying, yeah, gives it quality. Okay. Yeah, unlike in Uganda, where a farmer will, once the coffee is whether red, the green, they just, they just pull it off, yeah, and so that way you mix the grades, yeah. So the volumes are big, but the quality, at least, we are still higher than them.
Okay.
Yes.
You said you're working on really reviving Robusta in that region. Yes. What exactly are you doing?
One and important is capacity build on seedlings. Most farmers want to go back to coffee, but they don't have enough seedlings. Like in the Robusta belt, I think we are the only people with a Robusta nursery. We are happy that CRI, that's the Coffee Research, and the Coffee Directorate have come on board to help us capacity build on the same, on seedlings, so that at least a farmer can get seedlings whenever he wants it. And because there's rain, they can plant at any time. Yes. 2, there's continuous farmer training. Continuous farmer training, the time of planting, putting fertilizer, picking, yeah, and even just processing, normal processing. At least the farmer understands what we want. And in that way, even Robusta is also going, the quality is also coming up. Like I know of a customer who really wants our sun-dried coffee, Robusta coffee, because of what we're trying to instill to the farmers.
Okay. So in terms of the seedlings, tell us a little bit about the new varieties of seedlings. What's the difference between the new seedlings and the old crop that we have in the field?
Okay, for Arabica, when I used to work in the Arabica farms, I used to be an assistant manager and then a manager in one of the coffee farms in Thika. The SL varieties were more, but now in Arabica areas, brought in Batian and Ruru 11, which are very good yielding. For Robusta, we have the old varieties that are trying just to convert, yeah, to have the new shoots. Then there are the new variety that is called it's called what? Wilt, yeah, wilt resistant varieties. Yeah, but that's a major disease in Robusta. Yes. So those ones, at least they mature very fast, 1.5 years. Then you start picking, then you just continue. So we only train the farmers that you have to keep your trees more younger, yeah, for maximum production, so that you can get the 60 kilos per tree, yeah, that you desire.
Okay. So how much does an average farmer get at the moment?
An average farmer is about 30 kilos per tree for Robusta. Yes, that's half. Yes, because they still have understood how to do fertilizer, and also because of sometimes they don't have enough cash. Yeah, yeah. But we're trying, and that's actually why I'm happy with the new system, that the new KPCU, where most farmers didn't have faith, they've come up with cherry advance initiatives, where now a farmer can get his money, pick all the coffee, and also do fertilization for the crop. Yes.
You just brought up KPCU. Yes. That's the Kenya Planters Union. Yes. First, are you members of KPCU? And if you are not members, what had happened that if you are members before and you pulled out, what happened?
We were members before. Our fathers, our grandfathers were members of all these societies. Like in Busia, we had 5 societies: Nambare Coffee Society, Samia Coffee Society, Namutila Coffee Society, Teso North, Amagoro Coffee Society, and Teso South, Apokos Coffee Society. But then, because our coffee used to go to KPCU and get lost, that's what they say, yeah? Then there are no returns. So people lost faith in the KPCU. But now with the new KPCU, and the new initiatives that is coming up, giving us cash for picking, yeah? And even more meetings and trainings that this is the way to go. People are now getting faith and then working with KPCU. Okay. Yeah.
We were doing a comparison between Kenya and Uganda at the beginning. Yes. And you talked about the process that a Kenyan coffee takes before it hits the auction. Don't you think that process is so long, and in the process farmer is losing, the farmer is losing money, while the people at the end, on this other end, will make more?
Yes, that's a fact. But it's also good for the directorate to keep check on a product, because this coffee is an exchange earner. But then, for other counties like the ones at the border, we get that challenge. Okay. Yeah, because when you take your coffee, a farmer takes his coffee to the factory, then it has to be processed, then it goes to the mills, then the marketer, then to auction. Maybe it's given up 15% when it's at the mill, and then maybe another 10 or 20. It takes long. And the effect we have at the border, that smugglers come with piki and border. Mm-hmm. And once they arrive at your home, na inakuwa bahati mbaya, maybe your child has just been sent home for fees, primary shilingi 50. So a farmer will quickly give out that. And in essence, they're losing. That's why the farmer training is very important. Because Agorogoro, they sell to, that's the 2 tin. Agorogoro is the 2 tin. They sell to the brokers, 2 kilos. Actually, it's about 2.5 kilos because it's hipped. So a farmer loses because he gives it at about 50 shillings. And yet, when you sell in Kenya, we buy it at 25 shillings a kilo or 30 shillings a kilo. So, as like for us in Busia, we give it at 25 shillings a kilo. So in essence, he's losing about 20 shillings, yeah, which is very much. So we are trying to tell them that just be patient. I know the process is long, but be patient. Also, when the task force was there, I appeared there. The task force, when the president set it up, and I talked about the same, that why don't we give each county its own way of working? Because our farmers will not wait to have coffee, to have paid, yeah, after 6-7 months, yeah. Why don't you allow us, yeah, as an entity, to buy at the window, which is illegal, yeah.
When you say the window, what do you mean?
The window is buying like buying maize from the farmer,
from the farm,
yeah, direct at the farmer. Yes, it's illegal because we have to have the process, yeah. So we are trying to show them to understand that this is the way to go. If we don't want all our coffee to go to Uganda, then it means we do some other things that are off the rules. Okay. If we are allowed, that is. Okay. Yes.
So where is that process now?
I just met the coffee board, coffee directed officials. They came down. They're also looking at that. I know they're going to come up with an initiative to save that coffee from going to Uganda. Okay. Yes.
Okay. We also discussed a number of, we talked about the theft in the coffee sector.
Yes.
Apart from the smuggles that go to Uganda, how is the situation currently, not just in Busia, but countrywide? Mm-hmm. Do we still have these cases of coffee being stolen?
Yes, it's there. Coffee is being stolen. The security men are being maimed and killed, yeah, because we still hold it so high, yeah, yeah, and because of the market. And that's why sometimes we don't like the rules, but they're also good, because if you're not a farmer, why are you hawking coffee? Yeah, yeah, from who? From which farm? Yeah, and I like what the director is now coming up, that if you have 2 or 3 acres, or if I have 2 or 3 acres, I can apply for a growers marketer license, yeah, then I can sell direct to the auction or directly to the national market. Okay. So that one is going to reduce all this, yeah. Otherwise, if you allow everybody just to the way the Uganda is doing, that I can get coffee and move and sell it to anywhere. Actually, in Uganda, let me tell you, we have the halas, yeah, in every market, 2 or 3 in every market. Mm-hmm. So just take their coffee, just the way you take your maize, yeah, to make flour, then that is it.
Just like a posho mill?
Just like a posho mill. All the way, just immediately you cross to Uganda. There's the first one there in Busia called Mawero. Yeah? Then from there, Iganga, the same. So all those towns, you just take your coffee and you mill. They don't know whether you sold it, don't know where you got it, and that is it. Oh. So that's what's affecting us at the border. Oh. And that's why you find like the Luhaha issue 2-3 years ago, yeah, when coffee was, I think there's, is this security men? Mm-hmm. Yeah, were also maimed around there when they're guarding for coffee not to cross there. Because once they crosses, that is it. Yeah.
Okay. Hold that thought. We'll take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we will continue with this conversation.
Thank you.
Don't change that dial.